with Shane. As you may or may not know, the theme this year for our summer reading program is Tales and Tales, and we always try to keep the recipes related somehow to the theme of our summer reading program. So this year we're going to make animal-related or animal-named dishes. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to make a lot of desserts because a lot of animal-related or named dishes just happen to be desserts. Or maybe that's all I looked for, I don't know. But I found a lot of desserts, and as you probably all know, I have a really big giant sweet tooth in here. So we're going to make lots of desserts. I hope you're okay with that. This week we are going to start off by making an elephant ear ice cream sundae. So if you're not familiar with what an elephant ear is, or if you've never heard of an elephant ear, it's kind of what they call a giant doughboy at the fair or the circus. You'll see them, they're like these giant, just these giant plates of fried dough. So what we're going to do is we're going to make kind of a plate of fried dough, and we're going to make homemade peanut butter ice cream to go on top of it, and then we're going to make it into a sundae. So the ice cream that we're making today is the super simple. I've made them in the past. I feel like this is becoming a tradition where I do a different ice cream every year. Because I've discovered how to make ice cream without an ice cream machine. Ice cream machines are either really expensive to get the electric ones, or they're really messy with the hand crank salty ones. This makes a relatively smooth, dense ice cream that has the taste and feel of regular ice cream, but you don't have to go through all the work of the electric mixer. And it's really simple to make. This ice cream has 5 ingredients. It has sweetened condensed milk, heavy whipping cream, vanilla, salt, and we're making peanut butter ice cream. So it's peanut butter. That's it. So let's get going. We'll show you how easy this is to make. So we're going to start off by taking our sweetened condensed milk. It's 14 ounces of sweetened condensed milk. And we're just going to pour it all in here. And we are going to take our peanut butter. So the recipe calls for a cup of peanut butter. We're going to do a half a cup into here, and then we're going to actually take the other half a cup and warm it up a little bit to make it drizzly, and we're going to drizzle it into the ice cream and kind of work it around to get a peanut butter ripple in the peanut butter ice cream. I know. So we're going to put the peanut butter that we have not microwaved into our sweetened condensed milk. We are going to add 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now we've talked about why we add salt to sweet things, because normally we think of adding salt to savory things. We add salt to our dinner, we add salt to our fries. We add salt to sweets because it kind of balances the sweet, and it actually enhances the flavor of some of these foods, or these ingredients. So that's why we kind of add salt. And then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And my trick with vanilla is the cap is about a teaspoon. So we're going to do 2 capfuls. And we're just going to whisk this together. So you want to be kind of careful at first. Work the peanut butter down to a whippable consistency. And then we're just going to whisk it until it's all incorporated. It's not going to take very long at all. Alright, so that looks good. We've got it whisked down. That's it. We're just going to whisk it until we don't see any streaks of the sweetened condensed milk. This will look just like kind of thinned out peanut butter. Okay, that's step 1. Step 1 is done. Step 2 is even easier. We're just going to make whipped cream. So I've got 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, and I'm going to put this in a bowl, and we're going to whisk it together. Now we just add the peanut butter mixture to the whipped cream. So at this point, I'm going to put my whisk away. I don't want to whisk this anymore because we risk the chance of over whisking the cream and kind of turning it into a clotted butter. And we also risk, basically, we've spent all that time putting all the air in. The more you whisk it, you kind of take all that air out. And we don't want to do that. We want this to have those nice air pockets in there. So we're going to fold this in. So basically what folding means is we're not stirring, we're not really kind of like flopping it over. We're going to take it and we're going to take our spoon and kind of go halfway around and then fold over. Spin the bowl halfway around, over. We're going to keep doing that until all of the peanut butter mixture is worked into the whipped cream and you don't see any streaks of the whipped cream left. So this will take a minute or two, but you definitely want to take the time to do this right, so we don't lose all of our air bubbles. Okay, so that is our base for our peanut butter ice cream. So now we could just put this into a container and put it in the freezer, and it would be great peanut butter ice cream. But we're going to go one step further, and we're going to add that peanut butter ripple inside. So I have microwaved the other half cup of peanut butter, so it's a little loose, and we can drizzle it. And I microwaved about a minute, I think. Stir it up, and then I let it set, because we don't want to put this in here hot. We want this to be kind of a little cooler, so I actually microwaved this before I started everything. And you want to let it set for at least 5 minutes or so to kind of cool down a little bit. And then we are now going to add the ripple to the peanut butter ice cream base. Okay, so you can see that I have a metal container. You can use any metal container you want. This is just the one that I had here. Normally I use a bread pan, but I think this will work. And then I just line the inside with plastic wrap, because I don't want the ice cream to actually touch the metal, because it will kind of absorb the flavor of the metal. But we want the metal because we want the cold. When we put this in the freezer, this metal is going to get super cold because it is a good insulator. So it'll suck up all that cold, and then it will help make the ice cream inside even cooler. So we're just going to take half of our base, our peanut butter ice cream, just kind of spread it out. Now I'm going to take about half of this, just kind of drizzle it around. Make it thicker in some places, less thick in others. That way it's kind of a surprise where you're going to get a nice big ripple. And then I'm just going to take a knife, just kind of swirl it through. This actually isn't a knife, this is a butter knife, but just kind of swirl it through. You get all that peanut butter goodness out. But if you don't, you have to clean the bowl out yourself. That might not be a bad thing. So then, just kind of spread it out to the edges. peanut butter. Again, just kind of swirl it around, get it into the corners. And then just take your plastic. This will keep the top from kind of getting a little freezer burnt or crusty. And that's it for the ice cream. Really simple. We're going to throw this into the freezer. This is the hard part. It has to set 4 to 6 hours just to let the ice cream kind of set up and get cool. You could eat this right now and it would be delicious, but because we're making ice cream, we are going to let it freeze. So I'm going to go ahead and set this in the freezer and then show you how to make the elephant ear plate or bowl, however we want to make it. Okay, so now we're on to the vessel that we're going to use to move this sundae around, and it just happens to be that we'll be able to eat this bowl or plate, however you make it, when you're finished with your ice cream. So there's no recipe for this. I'm just going to tell you how to make it, and then I'll kind of show you how to make it. So I just went to the store and I bought frozen bread dough. So it comes in a loaf. They usually come in packages of 3 or 5. So we're going to take this out. We're going to set this out on the table until it probably doubles or triples in size. The bigger it gets, the sort of the more doughboy you can get out of it, or the elephant ear doughboy you can get out of it. So we're going to let this get as big as it'll go before it deflates. It's going to take probably 4 to 6 hours. And then all we do is you just cut off big chunks. We stretch it out to the size we want, and we're going to put it into hot oil, 350-degree oil, and let it fry for about 2 minutes aside. So we'll fry it for 2 minutes, flip it over, let it fry for 2 more minutes, take it out, we'll drain it a little, and then we will assemble our elephant ear peanut butter ice cream sundae.